Blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, heir of salvation, purchase of God.
Like I said, I was born in Cuthand, Texas, and raised in Cuthand, Texas. When I was a little boy, about 4 years old, I'd get in trouble. And my mom and I, we didn't get along too good as I grew up. And she'd say, "I'm fixing to give you a spanking." I'd get on the floor, and I'd start scooting on my rear end, and I'd be hollering, "Wait just a minute, Mama, wait just a minute." While I'd scoot myself to the door, what I would do is run in, get under the house where she couldn't get to me. And every time I do that there, when I come back out, I don't know, when I come back out, I thought it was over with, but as it was worse. I got a worse spanking I had in my lifetime. Although she didn't spank me all that much, but when she did spank me, you could feel it, and you didn't do it for quite a while. But being young, I would turn around and do the same things. Always, "Wait just a minute, Mama, wait just a minute." And I'd scoot my rear end off the floor and run, get out of the house, and I still always got spankings. And as we grew over and everything, well, I got wild with my friends and I, my two friends, one of my friends anyway, we got wild with rake horses. Well, we was down there one day, and we had this, what you call an Appaloosa and a Palomino filly that was crossbred. And every time you climbed on her, you'd have a rodeo. That was every morning. We done this for 5 days in a row. I mean, she would just buck and throwing us off and all these things. And I told Ricky, I said, "Ricky, you know that pool out there?" He said, "Yeah, we're going to have to do something about that pool." I said, "No, we're going to do something about this horse." So what we done, we took her out there first day. We kept her in that water for 4 hours. No bucking she was trying to. She fell with us about 7 or 8 times. But she'd get up and stand up and shake. You'd shake in the saddle with her and everything. And we took her, and like I say, 5 hours, then we took her, put her back in the pen. Got up the same morning, next morning, same thing. Bucking. I said, "Okay, young lady, we're going back to the pool." This time we swapped out. Kept her out there that day, total of 6 hours. I mean, we worked her and reined her and everything, you know. Got her where she had turned and everything. And then we got through with her. We took her back, unsaddled her, brushed her down, and fed her. The next day we got up. She didn't know what bucking was. She didn't make an attempt to buck with us. She done just like a normal pony should do. She is gentle and everything. So she done all that there, you know. But that's some of my enjoyments. I had fun with my 3 friends who grew up, and as we got a little bit older and gotten like freshmen in school, there's freshmen and sophomores, and there's junior highs in school. Our fun and game was do our homework on Fridays, and every Friday afternoon we'd saddle up our horses. We'd go to the creek. We stayed at the creek till about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'd rode about 8 or 10 miles on our horses. We'd go down there. We'd go coon hunting and wrestle at night and just have fun and enjoy. And I got old enough. My mom and dad bought me a new Plymouth Satellite convertible, 1968 model. I know y'all think it was old, but no, to me it was brand new. It was a brand new car at that time. Part of my graduation. And while I was driving around town one day, and we had what's called a Dairy Mart. So there's this pretty girl come out of the Dairy Mart. I was pulling in the drive. I had my best friend with me. That was Frank Brown. And here comes this girl out. She had on a pretty white topper and a pair of the prettiest candy striped pet shorts you ever seen. So I just sat there and my eyes just drooled. Like I say, I was just 19 years old. I wasn't interested in girls. I was doing other things with my friends. And Frank Brown's eyes, his eyes just dropped. Says, "My God, she's beautiful too." And she says, "Oh yes, she is." I said, "This is what I'm fixing to do, Frank." I said, "I'm fixing to take you home. And I'm fixing to come back. I'm fixing to find this girl. It's not a very big town. I'm going to find out what her name is." He said, "Well, you take me home, he had a like I said, I had a 68 Plymouth Satellite. He had a 1963 Chevrolet red and white Impala he had fixed up. And I told him, I said, well, if you think me, I took him home. He said, I'm fixing to beat you back over. I said, well, if you think you can outrun me, just get in your car and get out. He says, well, I can't outrun that Plymouth Satellite. You got a 318 horsepower, and I don't have about I think he had a 296 or something like that there. It wasn't very much bigger. Anyway, I went back over there, and I was sitting on what we call the square. And one night, that same night, I looked all over town for her. And finally, she gets out of this car with a bunch of girls. And she seen me sitting there where she's seen the car, and she come up to me, she says, I think I seen your car during March Day. I said, yep. And she says, well, why didn't I seen you? I was shy. Actually, I was shy, you know, back then. But now, I've grown out of it. But anyway, I dated her to about 4 or 5 times. And I went to her house one day. And I asked her mother, I says, is Gail here? She says, no, but she's babysitting. I said, oh, okay. I come by to see her. She said, but I'll tell you where she's at. And she's, okay. So she told me where she's at. I know where she's babysitting her 3 nieces. I went up there and knocked on the door. And she opened the door and said, what in the world are you doing here? My mother killed you if you knew you were here. I said, that's odd. She's the one who told me that you were here. She says, you got to be kidding me. I said, no. Her mother and I, from day one we met, and father, he was born in her too. We hit it off. You know, that's the way it was. But anyway, we dated for a long time, and my friends, there's about 9 of us, gave us a bachelor party. And I never had been in these stick of woods, as they call it back then, which I still call it because I'm from East Texas. Never had been there in my lifetime. And we got the ration, all that there good stuff. And I got up the next morning, and Lord behold, guess what I lost? My billfold. I could not find my billfold nowhere. So I went and got Gail that morning. I says, I've lost my billfold. She says, oh my God. So she and I went and looked for this place, and it was dark. It wasn't no light. It was dark. And I went where I'm a person, where I go to a place, I can always go back to it. I went to the place where we started out at. And her and I, we walked for about, I guess, 5 or 6 miles. And I walked right exactly where we was wrestling at. And she looked around, she says, I found it. That billfold was sticking maybe 2 inches out of the ground. That's how much we had wrestled in that one spot. I mean, everybody has called what you call a dog pile. I didn't weigh about 119. I didn't call it dog pile. I called it cow piles, and horse piles, elephant piles. It was heavy, you know. But anyway, as we grew older and everything, and which is she was my best friend, second best friend. I can't say the other word, but I think you know who the first best friend is in our lives. But as we grew older and all, we had our first baby, and she named her Crimson Shun. So she asked, well, when we was dating, she asked me how many children we like to have, and I like to have. Says, how many would you like to have? She says, 5 or 6. Then she asked me, how many would you like to have? I says, you know, I grew up with 3 brothers and 1 sister, and we didn't have very much when we was growing up. I would like to have 1 child, 1 girl is what I want, so I can provide for her is what I want to do. Well, as we grew older, and she got up, you know, and but anyway, my wife went very in pain when Chris was born. She had great pain with it, so. But as she grew older and everything, and they called her grandpa Paw Daddy, and my mom was called Grandma. That's what it was. Anyway, my dad, he was a character and a half. You know, I'm a character myself, but I can't outdo him. No way I could outdo this man. Fun, loving, enjoyed life. So we all took, I think it was 2 nephews and 1 niece and 1 cousin fishing. So we went fishing down there one day, and like I say, my dad has a character. We
Cammy went too.
And oh yeah, I forgot, we had another cousin, Cammy, she went with us too, you know. There was my daughter, Corinne, little Billy, Kenneth, and Cammy, there's all cousin. And Sharon was Corinne's cousin, okay. We all went fishing down there one day, and we fished quite a while. And so my dad, was his open the gates and everything, was having to go through gates to get to the pool. Well, we get down there, and last gate we come to, he didn't come back to the car. I pulled up where he locked the gate. I walked back there and said, "Dad, you okay?" "No, but I need a can." I said, "You need a can, huh?" "Yeah, something like a coffee can." I said, "Okay, now what do you need a coffee can for?" He said, "I want to get some of this cow manure." I said, "What to the world you want from cow manure?" He said, "I just want to get some." I said, "Okay. And when we get it, we're going to put it in the trunk of the car." I said, "Okay." So we got it and took it home. Sharon, Corinne's cousin, was a city dude, okay? Now, Corinne, she's a country girl. She lives in town, but she's still a country girl. But anyway, Dad, he said, "This is what he called me right outside. I said, "This is what I'm fixing to do. I'm going to play a game with him." I said, "Okay. What are you going to play?" "Well, I'm going to take a can of cow manure, and I'm going to turn it upside down. And what I'm going to do is going to put a $5 bill underneath it." I said, "Okay." I knew what he done. He took that can of cow manure, and he went around and told the kids, says, "I have $5 underneath that can, and who can grab it first when I raise it up and down can have it." Well, he kept sitting there raising it, barely raising it, barely raising it. The other kids know. But when Sharon's hand went under, he raised that thing instantly, and she just grabbed that handful of cow manure. She said, "Oh my God, cow mud." That was her word, was cow mud.
She got the $5.
But she got the $5 to go with it, you know. So it's been a fun life. I've enjoyed it. And then my second daughter, as we had Corinne, my second daughter's name is Corinne. My wife Gail asked me, says, "All right, I named the first one. What do you want to name the second one?" We haven't a second one. Well, the doctor had always told her Corinne was a miracle child, is what they called her, because Gail wasn't supposed to never have babies. I said, "Well," my wife asked me, what do you want to name the second child? I'll let you name her. I said, "My second child, I want to be named Krisha Denise." That's the name I had picked out for quite a while. So, that's what I named her. My daughter and Daniel got married. And Krisha, when I went and seen her in the hospital, coal black hair, and I just looked at her complexion. To me, she might have had black hair, but she was a rosebud, just a beautiful rosebud in her, you know. So she was born, and there's Tiffany, the middle-aged one. So she came along, and I first named her Tater Tot, because that's all she wanted to eat was tater tots when she was younger, just tater tots. So she wanted me to nickname her Tater Tot. Well, she grew past that age called 12, and she's past age 11, she became 12, and she told me they call me Pop or Popsy, Pops. She said, "Pop, I don't like the name Tater Tot." I said, "Okay, what about the name Precious?" "Yeah, I'd go with Pratt." "Okay, that sounds good." Okay, so I nicknamed her Precious, and we had Erin Danielle. Now, she's a tomboy. When I first seen her, I knew she was like I was. She's gonna be trouble, you know. So she was born, and when she was a little bitty thing, is always, when she say anything to me, it was always, "Do it again, Pops. Poppy, do it again.
Do again.
Do again, Poppy. Do again. Do again, Poppy. Do again." I said, "Okay, I'm going to do again, but what I'm going to name you is Do Again, because that's what you always say, do again, so I'm just going to start calling you Do Again." Well, that name was like Tiffany. It went on real good until she was 11 years old. No, I take that back. She had just turned 13. And she says, I don't like the name Dugan. Yeah, I says, what about Gorgeous? Well, she sort of likes the name Gorgeous, but you know what? I think I'm going to call her Princess. But I think I'm just going to start calling her Princess. The reason why is, Corinne, I think it was 3 years, no, I take that back. Dugan, or Precious, or Princess, I mean, she was maybe 6 years old, and her mother called. I was in the living room, and my wife, Gail, was in the kitchen. She got a cell call on her cell phone. And she says, Mom, I have a question to ask you. I could hear him talking in there. She said, yeah, what is it? Krisha, she takes after you, right? She says, yeah. Tiffany, she takes after me, right? She says, yeah. Where in the world did I get her and Danielle? And Nana, Gail, their grandmother, says, from your dad. I heard her all the way from the kitchen to our dining area, which is about 12 foot. I heard her on that phone say, oh my God. And I'd like to say this one thing. You kids this day think you have a great life. But you don't have a great life if you do not share it with your friends, your families, and your loved ones. It is not a life. It's not all about you.
Heir of salvation, purchase of God.